Over 24 states and several high-profile universities have implemented TikTok bans, and a bipartisan coalition in Congress trying to ban the app altogether. Yahoo Finance's Dan Howley joining us now to tell us why an outright ban might be highly unlikely. Hey, Dan.
Yeah, I basically talked to a number of experts, legal scholars, and those who have looked at this before. And essentially, the consensus is, look, this is a First Amendment issue for Americans. So the idea here is that the U.S. government officials fear that TikTok is collecting data on Americans and that the Chinese Communist Party can then pressure TikTok to share that data with them. They're able to do that with any company that operates within China right now. TikTok is an entity that's still related to ByteDance, but has some headquarters in the U.S. So they're desperately trying to distance themselves from this narrative. They also have started moving U.S. consumer data to Oracle's cloud platforms, but that hasn't eased the fears of legislators or regulators in Washington. And so now they're trying to move forward with these bans. We have Senator Marco Rubio had tried to introduce a ban nationwide for TikTok. And as you said, we have a number of states and high-profile universities outright banning the app. There's two things here. Those bans don't really matter. While the government employees can't use TikTok, it only refers to their phones. If it's a government issued phone, you can take your own phone and use TikTok all you want at home if you're a government employee. So it's not actually banning it from all users at all, really. It's just on government devices. That also goes for universities and states. The second issue, though, is would an all-out ban actually work? And from who I've spoken to, it's not going to, because that is a direct First Amendment violation. It would be challenged by the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has actually held that certain blocking off large portions of certain social media apps is tantamount to blocking free speech. And so it's unlikely that we'll ever see a full ban on TikTok here in the U.S.
Dan, when it comes to what we've heard from the administration, where they stand in all of this, what do you think that we could potentially hear in the coming months as this debate does heat up?
Yeah, I think what we're going to see from the administration is more along the lines of negotiations with TikTok continuing. They're obviously trying to work with them now. They didn't decide to ban it or try to ban it the way the Trump administration had. And the reason being because that kind of effort was shot down by the court. So it's not exactly a way where Biden can just sign a pen or use his pen and sign a paper and say that TikTok is now banned in the U.S. It's just not going to happen that way because of the free speech implications. The other thing that could be pursued is that it's a national security concern. But one of the experts that I had spoken to had said that, look, if Congress does try to play this out as a national security concern, then they're going to have to reveal exactly why it is. And that could reveal the way that the U.S. is able to gather secrets. And yeah, I just want to point out there was one publication, it slips my mind right now, but the way they said it was, look, if you can read Russian propaganda like RT or watch RT in the U.S., there's no reason why you wouldn't be able to be on TikTok. You can read propaganda newspapers if you want. That doesn't mean you can't be on TikTok. So, it's the same idea. You have access to all this information. Just because it's out there doesn't necessarily, and some folks don't like it, doesn't necessarily mean that you can't have access to it.
All right, Dan Howley, great stuff. Thanks so much.